That movie sucked.
I kind of liked it.
Movie Night Crew Network.
Glancing back, I got my first clear look at the monster. He was 7 feet tall, easy, his arms and legs like something from the cover of Muscle Man magazine, bulging biceps and triceps, and a bunch of other ceps, all stuffed like baseballs under vein webbed skin. He wore no clothes except underwear. I mean, bright white Fruit of the Looms, which would have looked funny, except that the top half of his body was so scary. Coarse brown hair started at about his belly button and got thicker as it reached his shoulders. His neck was a mass of muscle and fur leading up to his enormous head, which had a snout as long as my arm, snotty nostrils, with a gleaming brass ring, cruel black eyes, and horns. Enormous black and white horns with point you couldn't get from an electric sharpener. I recognized the monster all right. He had been in one of the first stories Mr. Brunner told us. But he couldn't be real. Welcome to Of the Eldest Gods, where we discuss Rick Riordan's role as our godly parent.
I'm Taylor from Cabin 6.
And I'm Charlie from Cabin 13. So this chapter, this is bullshit. Yeah, it is.
I hate you.
Did you say you hate me? Is that
Yeah.
I mean, you do.
Yeah,
I know.
I hate you. I hate me too, so.
Oh, well, I hate me too, so. Yay!
Off to a great start. Okay, yeah, I guess you can be punny that way.
I mean, I find this is bullshit in, like, a couple senses of it, but yeah. You know, there's the obvious.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah.
So what was this chapter about, Taylor?
Sadness.
That's true.
If you didn't do your homework this week, here's what happens. The chapter opens up with Sally Jackson driving the Camaro through the woods of Long Island Sound. Percy finally discovers that Grover is a satyr, not half donkey. Sally and Grover quickly try to get Percy to understand what he is experiencing. Mrs. Dodds, the Fates, everything makes sense. Out of the darkness appears a minion of the Lord of the Dead, the Minotaur. Gabe's Camaro is unceremoniously destroyed and Grover is left unconscious. Percy refuses to leave Sally, but then she is crushed into pixie dust by the Minotaur's hand. We had a whole badass fight scene and Grover and Percy make it to the summer camp Percy's dad wanted him to end up going to. Fade to black while having two people stare at your limp body.
I would rather not fade to black with that.
Oh, maybe he's into that sort of thing.
Okay.
Don't kink shame Percy.
He's 12. I don't want to know his kinks. I don't need this face, Taylor. So, turns off your own face. Okay.
Well, you always... This week we're literally fighting something, though, so... I don't have anything for the where the fuck are we portion of the show, because we are in the middle of the woods on Long Island.
Yeah.
The end of the description.
I mean, you and I know where we are, but, like, we don't need to get into the history and geography of that place just yet.
That's for next week.
Are we actually going to do history and geography of the camp?
I'm going to see if I can figure out approximately where it would be located on the sound.
Okay, interesting. That'll be fun.
Just like I was able to figure out where Percy's apartment was.
This is fun.
Good podcasting technique here.
Yeah. Okay, so for the Untitled Myth Corner...
I think that is the title.
I know.
Untitled Myth Corner.
I like it. Unless somebody has a better suggestion, that's what I'm going with. So...
Can we call it Who the Fuck Are We?
I don't know if that question will ever be answered.
That's fair.
Because Percy is not the Minotaur.
Damn it.
So it doesn't work.
Fine, tell me about the Minotaur.
Well, this myth is super fucked up! Just...
Yeah.
Oh god.
My kids really like this one.
I need to get into like the history of like how he was born. Is there a difference between the creature page and like the character? Wow, I hate Wikipedia. Okay. So the Minotaur exists because Pasiphaë fucked a bull. That's the main gist of it.
She didn't do it because she wanted to.
She did though.
But only because somebody else made.
Yeah, I know, but like,
Yeah.
it's weird and complicated. Yeah, so Pasiphaë is the wife of King Minos. I never know how to pronounce his name. Is it which one?
I always say Minos, but because
Minos?
Minotaur.
I feel like I always used to say Minos, but that's when you're reading
it's
it, you don't know.
I think it's Minos.
I guess Minos makes sense because no, Minotaur. No, I hate that. Do people call it the Minotaur?
I hope not.
Oh my god, actually that's on the pronunciation. Both of them are correct.
Minos and Minos?
No, Minotaur and Minotaur. Minotaur. I can't. I hate this. I was about to say I hate Greek, but I don't hate Greek. I just hate trying to pronounce things because I'm not Greek. I'm a stupid American. Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna continue and try to pronounce things correctly. At least I know how to say Pasiphaë.
Yeah, I was impressed with that.
Well, she's easy in multiple senses of the word.
Minos.
Minos? Okay.
Yeah.
So, Pasiphaë is the wife of King Minos of Crete. And as you do, Minos prayed to the god Poseidon for, the god's favor, and he got a bull to sacrifice to honor Poseidon, because this makes sense. But Minos is like, no, this bull's too beautiful. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to sacrifice this other not as beautiful bull, and I'm going to keep this one. So don't do that shit to the gods, because what they will do is they will make your wife want to fuck a bull. And in true just Greek fashion, this gets so weirdly convoluted with Pasiphaë asks Daedalus, who is like the Greek builder craftsman guy, to make her a cow suit.
Yum.
So she can climb into it so she can mate with the bull. This sounds like fan fiction. This sounds like a convoluted fanfic. What were the Greeks on for this one?
You want the short answer or the long answer?
Drugs? That's the short
answer. Most of it was cholera and dysentery.
So yeah, she gave birth to the Minotaur because of this.
Yummy.
Just holy shit, man. You just end up having a child that is half man and half bull, who sadly does not wear Fruit of the Loom underwear. I don't, Rick, he had some ideas there.
You don't know, were you there?
Well, out of this, the Greek art doesn't show that.
Would you want to ruin his body with a...
I wouldn't want to show his dick, personally. But the Greeks like showing dicks, so... throw back to the satyrs last episode. You often would see their dicks. A lot.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yes, that's the whole answer. So... because the Minotaur is a monstrosity, of course, they had to hide him away in the labyrinth, which, once again, was commissioned for Daedalus to make. Because you can't just have this monster running around places. I have a question. Did he want to eat people?
Yes.
Because I feel like it doesn't...
I'm here for you, friend.
Why does he want
because...
Why?
Okay, I got an answer for you, bud. Got an answer for you. So, because he was an unnatural offspring of a woman and a beast,
Yeah, I know.
He
I'm
had...
right now.
Oh. Anyhow, so in a book I read, like, he literally can't eat anything else. So it's not really his fault.
I want to sympathize with him and be like, bro, are they just feeding you humans because they think you're a monster?
It's really not the Minotaur's fault. None of this is his fault.
Yeah.
It's the interesting thing about the bowl that Pasiphaë lovingly had intercourse with.
Yeah. That
he's supposed to have been, that he was supposed to have been like Snow White.
Yeah.
If a god gives you a Snow White bowl, it isn't like you can... First off, everybody's gonna know that that's what that bowl was, because it's a fucking special bowl.
Wait, is the Minotaur also, like, white? I feel like I've never seen him depicted as that.
No, see, every time he's normally depicted as darker. So I find that interesting as well. Like,
yeah.
Now, granted, they might have been picturing him as, like, having white fur, but we don't know because most
of the art isn't.
Yeah, because it's especially around the Etruscans.
Yeah.
Would be in either the orange or black paint. So there's so many questions about...
I feel for this guy. He just...
So in this painting by William Blake, he is white. I mostly see him depicted as being...
Okay, but that painting, he's also a centaur.
Yeah, I'm confused by everything on that one.
That's from Inferno. That doesn't count.
Yeah, Inferno's a wackadoodle time.
Anything Dante is a wackadoodle time.
I was trying to explain Dante's Inferno to my students. It's like 2 weeks ago. Did not go well.
Anyway, the Minotaur, yeah, he just exists, and I feel sad for him because they wanted to just lock him up in a maze forever, and thus is where we get the Theseus myth of that whole thing, where they like they make Athens like sacrifice 12 people every year, I think, or every so many years, I think, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You're not even paying attention to correct me.
No, it was more just like my processing. Totally repeat what you said, sorry.
Oh, is it not 12? Oh, maybe. Oh, it's 14. Okay. I thought it was 12. I like the number 12. They sacrifice, 7 men and 7 women every 7th or 9 years? What? Yeah.
Yeah, I think the traditional is 7.
Or every year.
See, I've mostly seen the myth where it's one set of each every year.
Yeah, I thought it was every year, but, like, I don't know. This Wikipedia. You never know.
The traditional is normally one of each every year. But, I mean, once again.
Yeah. I don't want to get too into that one. I don't want to get too into the labyrinth yet, though. Maybe that'll
we'll come
be
back to that.
The later stuff.
In the book that's literally called Battle of the Labyrinth, we don't even have to tiptoe around that one.
Listen, I wanted to... I'm bad at this. You know I am. Other fun fact. His name just translates to Bull of Minos. I am once again...
Minos.
Minos.
Yeah, I mean Tar for Taurus.
Yeah.
Or Taurus.
Taurus? I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I'm just here.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Do we want to get to the chapter?
Do we? Oh, wait. I want to talk... Hold on. I want to talk about Pasiphaë. Because she doesn't really come up ever again. Pasiphaë is like a daughter of Helios, too.
Are you just taking over my segment?
No, I just wanted to talk about it. Let me talk about it. Yeah, she's the sister of Circe.
Yeah.
Now, we do come across Circe again later.
I forgot about that shit.
But I just did want to bring that up in that Circe and the Minotaur are technically related. And the god Helios is technically the Minotaur's grandfather.
Once again, Greek mythology, everybody is related, and it's all fucked up.
And that's mostly one I don't... Yeah, so it was... Aeetes, Circe, and Perseus are her siblings. So, yeah, that's... I just wanted you to know that, because it amuses me.
Yeah?
Oh, also Medea.
Well, yeah, isn't Medea... Medea's, like, the niece of Circe, so that would also make sense that Pasiphaë is
Yeah,
related to her.
they're all sorceresses, but they all, like, focus on different areas.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. I look forward to talking about Circe and
Ooh, what is this?
Medea in the future.
I don't want to go into this thing because, once again, I'm, like, never seen this before, and I don't know.
What are you looking at?
Are you on Pasiphaë's page?
No, but I can.
Okay, because at the bottom of her page, there's a thing about her possibly being a celestial deity?
Oh, yeah, Selene.
Yeah, I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, so...
I mean, that makes sense if she's Helios's daughter.
Yeah.
So
a lot of it comes back to her story being centered on Minos. Thinking about the Minoan people who are supposed to have been based on the island of Crete, traditionally. With that, it would make sense that she would be one of their celestial deities there.
Cool.
And then
Cool
there's
shit.
also the connection to... I mean, you get a lot of this stuff throughout all religions, especially with bowls.
Sorry, also her name is, like, it means, like, shining and light and shit. So
Yeah.
yeah, that makes sense.
Do you like the sidebar I took us down?
I do, in fact. I was like, wait, I thought there was more to talk about the Minotaur, and then there wasn't.
And I hope you are happy to know that one of Jupiter's moons is called Pasiphaë.
See, that doesn't make as much sense because I thought I thought all Jupiter's moons were, like, named after his lovers, and she's not
So
one
did
of his
I.
lovers.
I literally did until then I realized.
That's just not on brand. I still think it's funny that, like, didn't they literally send up was it named Juno or something?
Yeah, it was
to
sent,
check on
they sent
Jupiter's
Juno.
moons.
Yeah.
And so that's great. They literally sent his wife to check on his lovers. I love it. Mythology is great. Okay, should we get to this chapter? Because I feel like I just get very rambly whenever we're at the Untitled Myth Corner.
Sure. I just enjoy mythology.
That too. I do too. I just get very rambly because I'm like, I love this stuff, but I don't know how to talk about it.
I just don't know how to talk in general.
That too.
I like how half of our conversation is one of us saying something and be like, that too, or me too. That's like our entire friendship is just, yeah, sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah. We're trying our best.
Ding. Should have like a gong every time we say it.
No, it should be a drinking game.
With our sibling show restricted section, anytime they say it's all about the drama, and then anytime we say we're trying our best,
Yeah.
you might get alcohol poisoning. Don't do that.
Fun fact, in the episode that I guested on, literally yesterday as of recording this,
yeah, just so you guys know, we record, like, in the past.
We record in advance, pretty far in advance. We kept saying all about the trauma instead, and it was great.
That's so true. That describes, like, any, like, YA mid-level novel. These poor children are always so traumatized.
And now we get to the chapter where Percy is very much traumatized.
Yeah, like, terribly. We are just going through the country roads, which, first off, I gotta start with this. The idea of country roads being associated with anything near New York City blows my mind.
I mean, I've been to upstate New York, which is not where they are, I don't think.
Oh, yeah, it's very mountainous and stuff there.
Yeah.
But, like, trust me, I'm from Pennsylvania. We're essentially the same state. And then you have Philly and New York City that are just their own separate entities.
Beasts. Separate beasts.
And then you have poor Buffalo that gets 1,000,000 feet of snow every year.
Let's talk about the chapter.
You want to talk about snow?
No, I want to talk about Percy Jackson. That's why we're here.
Fine, we're talking about rain.
Yeah, that's true. We are talking about rain and lightning. And the fact that Sally and Grover were aware of each other, but did not know each other.
Yeah, we talked about that last week, where I wasn't sure.
Yeah, and this is where it's, like, confirmed, literally like, a page later.
Yeah, if I would have done reading ahead, but I didn't.
Yes.
So, yeah, I like how he's...
I want to know, like, how that happened. Like, did Grover, like, send her a mail or something and be like, hey, I'm gonna be watching over Percy?
It's like postcard. Hi, I'm stalking your son. Thanks.
Yeah.
That's how I want it to have gone.
Okay, you go.
And then that's happening all while Percy, the only thing he notices really is just Grover smells like a wet barnyard animal. And that might be my...
Did he never notice this before?
I guess not, like...
Does Grover just, like... I mean, he wears pants, I get that. But that doesn't negate smell. Does he just put air fresheners in his pants? That's...
all the time.
That's my new headcanon.
He's just dripping with air fresheners.
Better yet, he wears, like, Axe body spray or something to, like, distract your nose from the barnyard smell.
I mean, he's the perfect age group that he was around for Axe body spray. I mean, 12-year-olds, they love their Axe body spray. As someone who taught 12-year-olds, they love their Axe body spray.
Listener, what do you think? Does Grover wear air fresheners in his pants or Axe body spray, or both? I should make a poll.
Yeah. He talks about essentially being his stalker, and then immediately it's like, well, I am your friend too. Like, trying to cover it up. And that, it doesn't even faze Percy. He's just more focused on the fact that nobody has yet told him what Grover is.
I mean, okay, so I understand that this is, like, kind of rude, but it's very much in the vein of an ADHD brain to be like that, as well as, like, a 12-year-old.
Oh, no, I'm okay with it. I think it's hilarious.
No, I know you are. I just want to be like, just general, for the general public, I understand that Percy probably should not be asking this because it's rude, but I understand why he is. Because I would have done that too.
I mean, I feel like it's fair for anybody to ask somebody who's half goat what they are. No.
But you know, like, the general, like, asking, like, what
well, I was
are
just
you?
about to say, like, now if you're talking about somebody's race or gender, fuck off. Now if you see somebody who's half animal, that gets into a whole new realm of questions.
But they're still a person.
Is he a person?
Person's a person, no matter if they have goat.
Consider this. Would you consider the Minotaur a person?
I mean, maybe? If he doesn't want to eat humans, I think he's a person.
Because I feel like the thing people come down to is the top half a person? Because if the top half is human-ish...
Okay, wait. Did we go over, like, which parts of the Minotaur are a person?
No, you didn't, but we can get to that when we get back to the Minotaur.
That's true. Because I feel like it's definitely his head and his legs. But, like, he's got the torso.
Yeah, his torso and his arms are normally depicted as person.
Yeah.
And there are some depictions... Actually, most depictions have his legs as being human. It's normally just his head.
Weird. Oh, there's something I want to look up. There's, like, I don't know if it's, like, a real Percy Jackson cover or if it's, like, a fake one, but it's got the Minotaur on it and it looks nuts.
So apparently around the Middle Ages, I was reading into his description more, they actually flipped it. So around the time of the Middle Ages, it would be human on top, bull on the bottom, like the centaur. And that's why if you look at pictures, I'm just gonna, like, put the link to the wiki page on, because there's a lot of art on here. So that's why, like, the paintings, William Bake's painting, yeah, they actually flipped it for a while. Because Ovid where we get most of the description of him from, never actually said which half of him was bull.
I can't find this.
He only said half was bull, half was man. Now, in classical art, he's normally a man with a head of a bull.
Oh, here it is! Sorry, I found a thing.
Okay. So I guess it's all going to depend on which interpretation you take with it.
I'm gonna send you this image if I can in a second.
Should I dramatically read the bit in Inferno?
Do you want to?
My sage cried out to him, "You think perhaps this is the Duke of Athens, who in the world put you to death? Get away, you beast, for this man does not come tutored by your sister. He comes to view your punishments."
My Discord is being stupid on my computer.
Guys.
And it just... Okay, I had to reload it.
Dante's Inferno is wild.
It is fucking wild. I haven't read it, but I've watched summarizations of it. Overly sarcastic productions. Have you seen that?
No.
So for reference, I believe this is is it the Greek cover?
Ew.
German, sorry. German cover
say, it looks
of the Lightning
German
Thief.
with the D.
I knew it was a G. I knew it was a G country. So this is a wild thing. We need to link this somewhere.
I'll add it.
Yeah, it's of the Minotaur and his body is like a man and his head is a bull and he's wearing the tidy whities and then Percy's flying up in the air cracking his horn. And it just looks wild. I thought this was fake.
I wonder.
I don't remember. I think it's real, but this looks bad. Okay, back to the chapter. I let us get off topic because I was trying to look for this.
I mean, I enjoyed talking about Dante's Inferno.
I know you did. So back to the Percy learning about satyrs and all of that shit. Yeah, so he learns that Grover is a goat and not a donkey, which is just rude. He tried to call his best friend an ass.
I like how he's like, "Oh, yeah, Grover's been making all of these weird noises all this time. Why didn't I notice that sooner? I just thought it was a weird-ass laugh."
Some people make weird noises, okay? I feel victimized by this tweet.
I did a little more research on your book cover here. And that is the original Lightning Thief cover in German.
Nice. Y'all gotta look it up. It's fucking wild.
Okay. I'll add it in the show notes.
Yes. So yeah, Percy's like, well, satyrs are a myth.
He's having a full-on existential crisis.
Yeah, he's just like, what?
Why is life like
was
this?
Was Mrs. Dodds a myth? Were the ladies at the fruit stand a myth? And Percy's like, so you admit there was a Mrs. Dodds? It goes. The less you knew, the fewer monsters you'd attract. Wow.
Percy's having the existential crisis that we all had at 12 years old, but his just is more dangerous.
I mean, I feel like my existential crisis was the fact that I wouldn't be a demigod, but...
Mine was just coming to the realization that I had to keep living.
Yeah. I don't
was
remember when I had the existential crisis of shit, I can't just count down the years till the end of senior year. I have to go to college too.
You don't have to.
Yeah, Taylor, society? You ever heard of that? It says no.
Well, that's a danger. Yeah, and we should work on stomping down that expectation.
I agree with that.
I tell my students every day that they don't necessarily have to go to college because for a lot of them, college isn't right for them. They should do what's best for them, not what's best for society.
Yeah. I don't know what I got out of college besides making friends. That was it. That was the most important part.
See, for my profession, I did have to go to college.
Well, aren't you special?
Yeah, I am. And now I have to go back to college in order to keep being able to do my profession.
Let's get off this sad topic.
Let's all cry.
I mean, we're gonna cry at the end of this chapter. I know we are.
Yeah.
So here's where we bring up the mist for the first time ever. Did we? I feel like I don't know if we mentioned that before or if we've
we
taken out those.
We've hinted that there's something, but we have never actually talked
Okay.
about it.
I meant you and me, not the book itself. But
No, I meant like in the pod. We've sort of
Okay.
tiptoed around it just as he has.
okay. I don't know what things mean, so I need clarification. Yeah. Uh, I think the mist is cool because like then they don't have to figure out like, oh, we gotta like Men in Black this situation and make people forget shit. They can just be like, no, nothing happened here. What are you talking about? And then it just, you know.
Yeah. It makes me think of like what in our normal days could be misted.
Well, see, that's the existential crisis you come to when you read these books and you're a 12-year-old and you're just like, well, shit, maybe like the mist is coming over my eyes and I'm missing a bunch of shit, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's like an existential crisis when you're like, well, I guess I'm not a demigod.
Or are you?
According to this podcast, I am. So that's the story I'll stick with.
Okay. So essentially, we've gotten 2 pages into the chapter. Everything's a hallucination. Everything's going hunky-dory.
And now Percy is being chased by the Lord of the Dead and a few of his bloodthirstiest minions. Ooh, who's the Lord of the Dead? I
Minions
wonder.
of Hades. The news. Sorry. Book of Mormon. That's my plug. I don't have to do it at the end.
We're not to plugs yet.
I don't have to plug anything now. But yeah, so like, yeah, it's sometimes hard because we already know, hey, it's Greek mythology and stuff, but Percy still doesn't sort of understand who the Lord of the Dead is. He's starting to get bits and pieces, and it's like, oh, buddy, I know Mr. Brunner taught you about him.
Yeah. You know how like everybody that isn't actual mythology is like, oh yeah, Hades, you know, the bad guy. Moment of silence.
Like I said in episode 0, unlucky God for an unlucky number.
Thanks. So they're going to the summer camp.
Yeah,
And poor Sally's driving.
And poor Sally's like trying not to cry her eyes out the entire time.
And she's also trying not to die as they're driving in a rainstorm from a monster.
And it's just the fact that they're in Smelly Gabe's Camaro that makes the scene almost
that's worse.
better.
Wait, you gotta remember, she's also in her nightgown.
Oh shit,
Don't forget that.
I forgot about
she's in
the
her nightgown too.
Yeah.
It's your favorite detail, I know.
Oh man, love it.
I love Sally.
I do want to know how long this drive is.
It feels like it's like 2 minutes long.
Yeah, like, because we know it's a mile away at this one point.
Mm-hmm.
But how long were they doing before?
She's doing like 80 miles an hour right now.
Were they sitting in silence at one point?
Nah, she's going 80 miles an hour to try to get... I don't know the math on that.
Things are starting to click for poor Percy. And then all of a sudden, you get a nice flash and your car explodes.
They literally just like went into a ditch. I'm glad that they explained the fates though to Percy.
Yeah.
Like when Grover says that when he slips up, that's great. It's like only when you're about to when someone's about to die.
Whoa, you said you.
You meant you as in me. I meant you as like someone, not you.
Boys!
Poor Sally.
I like how that's like the last thing to happen, and then they get into a terrible car crash.
Yeah, they do. And Sally's just like, another mile, please, 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 please. This poor woman. After
the car crash, both Percy and Sally are fine. As fine as you can be after being in a car crash.
And then Grover's just
like, food. You gotta do it with the bleeding. Food.
I just think I've always thought that is just funny. I feel like it's not supposed to be funny, but it's funny.
It's very on brand for Grover.
Exactly. At least he's not moaning enchiladas.
I like how Percy's first reaction to the Minotaur is he has a blanket over his head.
Yes, he does.
Okay, so it seems like in Rick's description, his waist up is furry. But he must have hands because he's holding something.
I literally read it earlier, and I I was just gonna say, like, the brown hair is, like, at his belly button, got thicker as it reached his shoulders. So,
What
does
a
that
yummy,
mean...
yummy...
So his legs are not hairy. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
That's weird. So this man has, like, normal-ass man legs, and then a furry man body from, like, the waist up, and then a bull head. That's what I'm imagining here.
Yeah.
Because he has to have hands. They're just furry hands.
Yeah,
I don't like this. Rick, what were you imagining here?
I mean, any mental image of the Minotaur is going to be terrifying.
But I think I prefer it when it's like the legs are bull, and then the torso and the arms are man, and then the head is bull again. I can agree with that image. But this image is just like man legs, man torso and arms covered in fur, and then bull head. It's like, I don't know. I feel like he should maybe have the hooves still.
Yeah, see, but
He
does
has
he actually
hands.
say if he has...
He has to have hands because of how he grabs Sally.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Ugh.
You know, when we get to the movie comparison, we're gonna have to talk about what the Minotaur looks like compared to this description. Maybe if it was all furry, it would also be better. But it says his fur starts at his belly button. This is unsettling. I don't like it.
I like how half this episode is just us trying to get over what the Minotaur would look like.
This entire episode is just us going on tangents, but now we're talking about this and I don't like this.
I enjoy that he has the brass ring that is, like, associated with bulls.
Yes, you gotta have that, you know?
Like...
I like the fact that Sally... Just Sally.
Yeah.
She calls him Pasiphaë's son. Good. She knows her mythology. And she does not let Percy use names, because names have power. Good.
Names have
good.
power.
She knows her shit. Names have power. That is the most important thing you must learn from this. We're not even dealing in Fae, and, like, names have power. I love it.
The entirety of Percy Jackson is names have power.
The entirety of Rick Riordan's books. Names have power. Don't call anything by its name.
Just that thing over there. Well, wouldn't you think that after a while the phrase Pasiphaë's son would eventually become essentially his name?
So...
Like, I understand it that's not how it works, but also, like...
But that makes sense to me, what you're saying, like...
Yeah, like, eventually that becomes what people know them as. Then your secret word for them would be his given name, because...
Like,
now he goes by Pasiphaë's son, and...
Yeah, see, like... Remember when I talked about, like, the Furies in, like, the first episode, and how, like, the Kindly Ones is actually, like, another name for them in myths and shit, and you would think that, like, because it's so heavily associated with them, that would be a name that, like, they can't call them. But that's what they call them.
I might call them flappy, scary ladies.
Demon math teachers, that's what we call them.
Aren't those all math teachers?
So, yeah. Names have power. And then Sally just knows how to fight the Minotaur, and I love her. That's it.
Yeah, so yes, sight and hearing are not great for the Minotaur. Smells. Yeah, that's how bulls work.
And he can't, like, do corners?
Also, yeah.
Yeah,
bulls,
like...
It's just because of the weight of their head. If they're going forward, it's hard to shift quickly without just... I mean, it's even worse for a full bull.
A full bull.
But he's only part bull, so...
So, do you have a rant lined up for this? I know you have something.
Hold on. I want to talk about the fact that he crushes Gabe's Camaro.
Oh wait, did he mention how Gabe was gonna kill him?
Not a scratch, I remembered Gabe saying.
Yep.
Oops.
Yep.
And that's my favorite.
We love. So yes.
Right after that, also, we find out that Sally was doing a lot of research in case something were to happen, so she would know what to do.
I mean, that works.
Yeah, I mean, she's got her.
I love
her
her.
shit.
That's all I have to say.
So, now, if you want my... No, we have to talk about the sad thing first before we get to the thing I want to talk about.
Oh, we have to... Oh, why do we have to get to the sad thing? I wanna Taylor rant, and then I'll get sad.
Fine. I will do my rant first.
Here's the Taylor rant trademark.
So, first off, I'm sad because I pictured him wearing a yellow rain jacket, and he's actually wearing a red one. And
Yep.
that's not my rant, but I'm sad about that. Very sad about it. The thing I want to rant about is the red rain jacket in another sentence.
Yes. Yeah.
Is that what you expected my rant to be about?
I had a feeling, but I figured,
Okay, first off, it's like a really weird misconception that bulls get angry because of the color red. No, you're just waving shit at them. They're gonna charge at you no matter what you're waving at them. They don't have great sight. Second off, it's associated with bullfighting, which is just has a lot of ethical issues behind it. Do you know what they do in bullfighting?
What?
They literally just keep stabbing the bull with like these spear-like things until they go down, and then finally you have the Minotaur come out and he gets to take the final blow on the bull.
The fuck is bullfighting?
Then you have bull chasing, where the running of the bulls, people die because they think it's smart to run in front of a bull. And this part is true, they don't change direction very well. So if you can't get out of the way of the bull is coming straight over you. There are so many things wrong. So a lot of the traditions in Spain that are around bullfighting and stuff are dying out pretty heavily. And I don't mean to trash on anybody's cultural traditions, but when they involve killing animals for no reason,
for no reason,
and then for also putting people purposely putting themselves at risk with a live dangerous animal for some thrill chasing incident, that's my rant today.
Bullfighting's dumb.
Bullfighting's dumb. The bulls didn't do anything to you. And no, bulls aren't attracted by the color red. They're attracted by you waving something at them.
But red is bright and flashy. That's why.
Yeah, but you could also say the same thing about yellow or orange.
Yeah. So his rain jacket had to be red. Just for that.
Yeah, it's literally to go in with that trope. And that's my complaint.
I would have kept it yellow.
I think it would be funny if he was running around in the Morton Salt Girl yellow rain jacket. I'm just saying. Rant done.
For now.
Now we get to go to the sad part.
Yay! I'm gonna cry. Are you gonna cry?
Probably not, just because I'm not much of a crier when it comes to fictional beings.
Well, rude.
I've cried at 2 books ever. One was The Book Thief, and I cried both times I read it. And I cried the second time I read The Hunger Games, and it was a very situational reason. So, yeah, I don't cry much when it comes to books.
Well, everyone should cry for Sally Jackson, because she was brave. She tried to save her son.
And Percy just wouldn't go. And, I get it, he's 12. He wants his mom to be okay. But she wants you to go.
The Minotaur closes its fist around Sally's neck, and then she disappears into a gold light. She was simply gone.
Fairy dust.
Is she dead?
The world may never know.
The world may never know.
Good on Percy, though, for, realizing that his best friend is about to also be murdered.
Yeah. I feel like he's also slightly mad at Grover, though.
Yeah.
And that's why he's more concerned about his mom.
Yeah.
I mean, his mom, he can just drag Grover and his mom can, walk for herself. But also, he's slightly mad at Grover for not telling him shit and worrying him.
I think the only reason he does anything here is Grover's the only thing he can save at this point. He couldn't save his mom. So...
And that's why
Sally would have wanted Grover to live.
Yes.
She probably would have preferred if Percy would have just, kept running. But, because he didn't, the next best thing would be to save Grover.
Yeah, Grover's kind of important. Save Grover.
Just a little. But
wow.
I like how
love for Grover.
Oh, I have lots of love for Grover. Grover's... I love Grover in Sea of Monsters, so I'm so ready to get to Sea of Monsters already.
We're only on, what, chapter 5?
4.
4?
Yeah.
Shit.
Shh.
Well.
Let me think of Sea of Monsters Grover. So basically, Percy knows all this badass fighting techniques shit, just magically.
It's because he's Percy, and...
Does ADHD give you magic fighting powers? Well, that's all we know about him. I'm asking you, do you have magic fighting powers?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say that Percy, because he is, the son of Sally Jackson, obviously he has magic fighting powers. Because he's related to Sally.
And she's a goddess.
She is. I want to know if anybody who's listening to this is gonna, like, actually think we're talking that Sally is the goddess. I want to know if anyone will believe us.
I do have one more complaint about the bullfight here.
Oh god.
Percy says he starts to realize that the thing only had one gear, forward. His mom literally told him the page before that it couldn't move.
Percy, you dumbass.
That's my complaint. Like,
Percy's
you didn't just figure that out. Your mom told you that. That was the end of that.
Was it?
And then, yeah. Because then, I still don't really understand how he accomplishes this.
He just... What did
like,
he jumped out on the back of the... I don't know.
That's the part, okay, I can get on that, whatever. My thing is when he breaks the fucking horn off. Like, 2 hands pulling on it is gonna break off a horn.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Okay, so Percy, as a baby, did a feat that Heracles did in just squeezing a snake till it died.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know, like, anyone could squeeze a snake, but, like, he was a baby, and it's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Does Percy just have, like, Heracles powers?
Is, like, he secretly, like, super strong?
I feel like this never comes up again.
It doesn't. Like, now that I really think about it, and this is the only time he has, like, weird-ass super strength.
We're gonna have to keep a lookout for this now.
Yeah, we're gonna be, like, in book 5 and be like, oh, there it is. Nothing again until book 5, and we're like, I found it.
Even worse, it'll be like Heroes of Olympus, and we'll be like, what?
Last book of Heroes of Olympus.
Percy!
You butthead. Also, Percy definitely has like 20 million concussions at this point. Just want that to be known. Yeah, that's true.
Also, the fact that Percy just, like, killed the monster with its own horn. That's, like, wow.
Wow, having, like, 20 million concussions. The fact that he was able to stand up at all is amazing. And he does not burst into pixie dust.
He's a magical boy.
They do the Voldemort fade away with the dust. That's how the mythical creatures die.
Paper-mache!
And so it just ends with poor Percy trying to drag fucking Grover. I like how he describes himself as smelling like livestock. Good description of yourself.
I mean, he is live and he is stocky.
Down into the valley. So, how far does he have to travel while dragging Grover?
Know.
And with 20 million concussions?
He's also crying. He's calling out for his mom. Poor Percy. What the fuck?
He literally just collapses on a porch of a place he's never been before. And he looks up, and there's a man and a pretty girl looking at him.
And her hair looks like a princess's. That's my favorite detail.
And once again, Rick does a really good job ending chapters. Just silence Annabeth, the man said. He's still conscious. Bring him inside. Like, you want to know who the people are.
No.
Okay. Podcast over, guys. Bye. We had a good 5-episode run. I had to, like, do math in my head.
You can do math? Wow.
I am technically certified to teach math. Would I teach
Gross.
math? No.
Gross. Well, we know who one of the people is. Her name is Annabeth.
Yeah.
I wonder
And
who
she's
she
got
is.
princessy hair. I'm so excited for it.
As sad as I am to lose Sally, we got Annabeth.
Yeah,
So,
like we
traded one goddess in for another.
Any final thoughts about your emotions?
My emotions. Sally Jackson. Justice for Sally Jackson. She deserved better. That will always be my stance.
Mm-hmm. Justice for Sally. She was just trying her best to be a great mom.
She was trying her best.
That's really the tagline for all of these books. Basically any book ever, my entire life. Can we just change the motto of the United States to "We're trying our best"?
I feel like that's just the motto for the podcast. That's it.
No, the world just needs to be like, "We're trying our best."
Did I put that in our bio? I feel like I did. I feel like I changed the bio and put that in there. Yeah, that's in our Twitter bio. We're just doing our best.
I think that is all I have as well. Do you have any plugs for me?
Let's see. What have I been watching lately? Most of my plugs are always going to be like things I'm watching because this is what I'm reading. I'm watching Alexa and Katie on Netflix, which is a cute sitcom. I love sitcoms. I love shows about female friendships. And the premise of it is that Alexa has cancer and Katie is like her best friend, helping her through it. In like episode 1, they shave each other's heads because Katie has to shave her head in solidarity, and they're sweet. They're so sweet, and it's really cute. I love female friendships. Okay.
My plug, and it wasn't gonna be this, but the episode they put out today was bananas, is Behind the Bastards, hosted by Robert Evans.
I thought it was gonna be that when he started.
So today is February 11th when we are recording. Go to February 11th and fucking listen to the episode. It's about, the whole premise of the show is doing a deep dive into like the weird parts of the worst people in history. Well, today's episode was like somebody else came on and hosted it. Still the same premise.
Oh,
it was about a history teacher in the 60s who essentially created little Nazis by accident. As like a social experiment.
Interesting.
It is so bananas. And as a world history teacher, it freaks me the fuck out.
Nice.
Oh, it's so fucking good. I don't watch TV, so that's my all the TV show recs are gonna come from you.
Yeah, that's true. I watch a lot of Netflix and Disney Plus and Hulu. I watch a lot of shows, okay? And a lot of them are rewatches. So maybe y'all will get things that I've already recommended before in the future.
Probably. It'll be fun.
Will it?
Oh, also Book of Mormon. You should check that out.
You said that earlier, I think, right?
Yeah, the Book of Mormon musical. I mean, if you're Mormon, you can check out the Book of Mormon, but the Book of Mormon musical. Great. And my computer is about to die.
Cool. We should finish the recording then.
Yeah.
Taylor, get out of your fucking closet.
You can follow the podcast socials at Of the Eldest Gods Pod on Instagram and at Of the Eldest Gods on Twitter. You can send an iris message to us through oftheeldestgodspod@gmail.com. You can follow me, Taylor, at Taylor from Cabin 6 on Instagram, and Historical Femme, spelled FEMME, on Twitter. Catch me on episodes of the Restricted Section, Hell from Elsewhere, and True Stories of a Tryhard.
You can follow me, Charlie, at GreenPixie12 on most platforms, mainly Instagram and Tumblr. But on Twitter, I'm at GreenPixie123, which I'm not salty about. No, not at all. I also have an art Instagram that I sometimes use at Green Pixie Draws. I sometimes do the YouTube thing on my channel, Charlie Mack. That's MACK. And I also have another podcast called Fandom's Gone Wrong, where my mom and I talk about movies, TV shows, books, and whatever other fandoms we enjoy. You can find that on all the major podcasting apps.
Our music was written by Nora Strauss-Riggs and recorded and edited by Ian Emmerich. You can find Nora at Kane_I, that's I as in the body part, on Instagram and Twitter. Feel free to message her about making music for your project or editing your pod. She's the host of Siblings and Fandoms, where Nora and her sister Maddie talk about fandoms they're part of, ones they're not, and everything in between. She is also the host of Modern Musical Origin, which is an informative show delving into the history of different instruments and styles of music. You can find both of those pods on all the major podcasting apps. We are proud to be a part of the Movie Night Crew Network, which features the Restricted section, a chapter-by-chapter Harry Potter pod with lots of spoilers all the time, and the Movie Night Crew. Join some friends as they react to some terrible, some meh, and some really great movies.
What's up, potheads? It's me, your host, Christina. Welcome to the Restricted section. No, we're not in Hogwarts. It's like a metaphor. Do you get it? Like, we're raunchy, and we get drunk, and we make sex jokes, and we have an all spoilers all the time policy. So, you know, it's like the Restricted section. I've been told that explaining jokes makes them funnier. If you've ever wondered how the Marauders map actually works, if you've ever thought that maybe Snape sometimes wears jeans, if you've ever thought that Draco and Harry are for sure in love, I mean, they're for sure in love. If you've ever had a hard time deciding who you'd rather bang, Bill or Charlie, obviously Charlie, then this podcast is for you. You don't even have to do the reading, we'll do it for you. Catch the Restricted section every Wednesday wherever you get your podcasts, and find us online at Restricted Section Pod.
Of the Eldest Gods is based on the series by Rick Riordan. Right now, we are discussing Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Remember to follow us on your favorite podcatcher and meet us back here every Thursday.
Oh, I hope we have outtakes someday.
That movie sucked. I kind of liked it.
Movie Night Crew Network.